Today in our 2008 Honda CRV, we will be having a look at and installing the Roadmaster Brake-Lite Relay Kit for towed vehicles, part number RM-88400. So when we don't have a brake light relay installed on our towed vehicle, when we are towing it behind our motorhome and our turn signal is on and then our brakes are depressed, we have the issue of our brake lights coming on our towed vehicle, overriding the turn signal from our motorhome. Now with the brake light relay installed and operating, when we step on the brakes on our RV with our turn signal on, our brake signal does not override the turn signal function when the brakes are applied inside of our towed vehicles with the supplemental braking system. Now that we've gone over some features, we'll show you how to get it installed. All right, to begin our install, we're going to be working on the left side of our dash, right underneath our steering column right here. Okay, we'll remove this black plastic panel right here. To do that, there's a twist knob off to the left of it towards the back. Twist it 90 degrees, grab the panel, pull down, we can set it aside. Okay, we'll remove this panel here too. In order to do that, we'll just grab it and separate it from the rest of our dash. Okay, this is our stop light switch right here. I went ahead and already removed some of the wire loom over our wires so we have access to them. We'll use a test light now to find the cold side of our stop light switch. It should be this light green wire with silver dots on it. What the cold side is, it means it doesn't have power until we step on the brake pedal. All right, so we'll cut that green and silver wire in half away from our connector, and we'll strip out the insulation from both ends. Okay, we got enough of our wire stripped back now, and we can start making our connections. All right, this black wire here that has some insulation stripped off, this is for our towed vehicle braking system that we were installing later. This is for our indicator light, which goes to our coach. We're gonna tie this into our green wire closest to our switch. So we'll just twist this on to that wire. Take one of our blue butt connectors, slide it on over, and we'll crimp it on down. Here's our relay socket harness. It's a 5-terminal wiring harness. We'll be using all of our connections on it except for the blue wire. This is for vehicles that have push button start. The CRV does not. So we'll just cut that blue wire on off so we don't have to deal with it. Now we will take our green wire here, remove the pre-stripped insulation, cut off a little bit here of the exposed wire because we don't need that much. Right here's plenty. Twist it back together so it's nice and tight again. And we will install this into the butt connector that we just installed and crimp it into place. Now we'll take another blue butt connector and go to our other green wire, the side furthest away from our switch. And we'll crimp that in place too. And that'll get our black wire off of our relay harness. Okay, now up on the corner of our dash, there's a 10mm bolt that holds a lot of the factory ground wires in place. We'll be using that same location to ground our relay. We'll remove that bolt right now. It's 10mm. Right, here's our white wire. This is our ground wire. Take off the insulation, slide the ring terminal on the wire, crimp it down into place. Then we'll reinstall our bolt with the ring terminal in place. And we'll snug that back down. Now we need to find a fuse in our fuse box that only has power when our key is in the on position of the ignition, which is the second click. We found one right here, which is actually the fuse for the ignition for the second click. It is fuse number 36. This is 10 amp fuse right here. We will remove that fuse. All right, the fuse that we removed has these short legs which are recessed in the body. We need to find a replacement 10 amp fuse that is one that has longer legs. We have some of these laying around. You'll need to provide your own. You can find these at any local auto parts store. Even gas stations have them, so they're not hard to find. They're readily available. Now our kit does come with one fuse just like that, which we'll be using for the circuit. So we'll take both of these fuses, put them in our fuse tap here. Doesn't matter which location for which one because they're both 10 amp fuses and they're both the same exact size. Push these on into our fuse holder. Sometimes since they're brand new, they never had any fuses installed, you might have to squeeze them down a little bit with a pair of pliers. Okay, with both of our fuses installed in the fuse tap now, we can attach the blue butt connector to the red wire, which comes off of our relay harness. Stick it on inside, crimp it on down. We'll plug our fuse tap in to the fuse slot that we removed the 10 amp fuse from. Okay, now our circuit is protected and our relay socket will have power when the ignition is on. We'll take our relay now and plug it into our relay socket. It's keyed so it only goes in one way. Just rotate it until it does and then firmly push it in place. All right, we went ahead and secured up all of our wiring and relay with a couple zip ties so it's out of the way from our pedals and not going to interfere with any moving parts. Now we'll reinstall all of our panels. And that completes our look at and installation of the Roadmaster Brake-Lite Relay Kit for towed vehicles, part number RM-88400 on our 2008 Honda CRV.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com.